Welcome back to the Qt Developer. Today, it's going to be exciting. I'm going to make a series on making a stock trading application. First place I'm going to start is downloading the API from Interactive Brokers. Now this can be kind of challenging to find. So let's type in IBKR API download. Everything comes from GitHub. So we click on the GitHub link, takes us here, you agree, then you choose whichever one you like. If you're developing on Windows, or if you're developing on Mac or Linux. Now I like Mac or Linux, so I'll be sticking with that. Now let's take a look at setting up the project. So here we are in the project folder. I'm going to have my profile and the user, which is generated from the profile when I actually launch it. Now I'm not going to use CMake because CMake's kind of challenging. A lot of great qualities, a lot of terrific things that one can do with it, but I just like staying within the Qt Creator framework. It's just easier. So I also made a folder for all my GUI forms, made a folder for my header, made a folder for the lib. I like to have a separate folder for the Qt build for debug and release. I'll have a settings folder, save the state, maybe change the look and feel of the application. Then I'll have a folder for the source files, the CPP. So looking at the code, so it just starts out. Here's my header, the folder that I created, and here's my main window. This is just the boilerplate code you get when you create from a new project. Now I'd like to take a look at the actual setup of the project. So here's my root folder. Here's my trader profile. Here's my header folder with the main window.h. My source with the main CPP. And the main window. I also have my main window UI and the GUI, which is part of the forms. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to actually set up the project file, the .pro. So this is what it looks like. So I currently have core GUI. I'm also going to include OpenGL just in case I need it. We're going to have a network and XML. I'm going to keep this greater than version 4. I want the configuration to be C++17. And then this will be for my sources, my headers, and my UI. And of course the forms. Now I want to do something a little differently here. I have Q and X. I'll then have my target path. But I want to create a new thing called destination dir. Dest dir. And that is going to equal the output pwd. I then want to actually set my objects directory, and I want to set that to the destination directory / and then .obj. I'll then set the mock directory also to this destination directory .mock. I'll set the RCC, which is a QRC dir, to that directory .qrc. And I'll set the UI dir to that destination directory /.ui. Now all this is going to do is it's going to create a hidden directory, and that's where it's going to put the mock files, the QRC, and the UI when it's built. So all that I'm going to see is a nice application, single application, that's it. all this stuff will be hidden. I like to keep these things a little neat and tidy. And let's go ahead and build it. Okay, now the next thing I need to do is I need to actually make an entry for a library that's required by the API. And that library is the GCC 000L libbid.a. It's a math library. And I'll go ahead and I'll put it in here. So this is going to take my current working directory, my library, IB, my version of IB, the API, and that file. So now that I have this, I could now come in and begin to add the source files and the header files. So I'm going to need all of these files from the IB Interactive Broker API. So I kind of have all of those pre-made. And I have a few math libraries I made too. So here they are. These are all the files that we'll need for the API, because I want them to be visible. I'll have to look at this. Not sure why that doesn't show up. That's for my image. I want to be able to generate images on the fly. And now I'll go get the header files, and I'll do the same thing. So here's my header files. There we go. So they all are included. And now we can see everything show up. So here's all the API for my sources. And here it is for the header. So now that we have the project set up, my project's set up, and I have the libraries. Here's my math library, and it looks like everything's squared away. So in the next episode, we'll build and we'll make a test file to try to access the data. Hope this was informative. Stay tuned, and happy coding.